Georgia, Georgia.
Hello, shooters, loaders, and casters. Welcome to the Georgia Shooting Connection Friday Night Live stream. Hope everybody had a great week. Hillbilly, what you been up to?
Oh man, just having time of my life. Weather's been nice, and so we've been out shooting all kinds of videos and just shooting guns and everything. Getting ready for Halloween.
Yeehaw. CW, what you been up to?
Oh, I've been making videos. I've been to the gun range. We had a swap meet last weekend at Gun Club. I've been fishing, yard work, casting some bullets. I've been busy.
Been great to see it.
Mostly been okay. A couple of nights not so good, but mostly okay.
Good.
Dean, what's going on with you last week?
Oh man, I worked like a dog all week. Man, everybody's been hitting us up for stuff, and we're 3 to 5 days behind on shipping anything because of the amount of orders we have. So man, I've been washing brass, priming brass, sorting brass. It's just a brassy kind of life for me.
Takes a lot of brass to do that job.
Man, I'll tell you what, I've lost some of my brass doing it. What about you, Walter? How are you tonight?
I am wonderful tonight. I had a good week. I got several videos out this week. Got some casting done, some loading done, some shooting done, and been working on a little woodworking project. That's one of those projects that would take a skilled craftsman about 20 minutes to do. Take me all week. I'm making some new hardwood loading blocks. I'd made a couple out of pine as, practice ones, and kept them. Those are supposed to be beta testers. And so I finally threw those out and working on some new ones. So I've been doing that. And what else I got going on? I did brass today too. Not nearly what that guy did. A guy tumbled and sized about 500 pieces of 38 Super today, but that was about it. How about you over here, Mr. Mark?
Oh, well, it's been a long week. Been at school, but had a good week. I did manage to sneak in a little bit on Wednesday evening. We didn't have anywhere to go, so I got the grass mowed. While the grass was mowing, I fired up the melting pot. And afterwards, I had just enough daylight left to cast about 150 real nice bullets for 357, and hoping to get those powder coated sometime this weekend. We are planning on going to a nice gun show tomorrow, a little bit, about 45 minutes away, hoping to maybe pick up some supplies or just look around, handle some things. So it's been a good week. Been looking forward to this all week, 5 days. Good to be here.
Awesome.
Good to have you.
One thing I was wanting to ask you, Gene. So your job, like your work, you're sorting brass and everything. So when you get your paycheck at the end of the week, do you have a little deal over there on the side that says brass tax that they take out?
just for what I take. I can though, that offer was given to me when I started working there. I said, most of my check's probably just going to go for supplies. He said, we could do that if you want. I'll just take it off your check. We'll just write it down.
Well,
I haven't done that yet. I just normally pay cash.
We already got a question. Tactical Wabbit wants to know if anybody's got a magneto speed. I've been intrigued by that. I watched Andy 79 Z28's video earlier about that Lee quick trim thing,
Mm.
and I'm kind of intrigued with that. I mean, you know, uh, Andy, how do you like that as far as and one thing I didn't see in your video, and I'm sure it's in the directions. How do you adjust the cutting length, or do you? Is it just the way it comes, or how does that work? I know you got to be able to adjust.
I think it's caliber specific, so it's probably set up to just jam against the shoulder.
Preset.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for the ones that you do a ton of, I can see where that would be, especially the way he had it set up with his drill up in that turret press and all that.
Yeah.
All right. So
M1, I have the Magneto Speed. I've had it and used it for quite a while.
there's Abigail. We got a house full out
Abigail.
there already. So
I
Andy
can
said,
see that Magneto Speed being good for guys shooting on public ranges, or especially indoor ranges and such like that. But I've used them, and they can be finicky to set up. So, I don't know. They never.
Now,
Mine's not finicky to set up, but it's choosy about what cast bullets it will like to chronograph. Lighter weight cast bullets, sometimes it'll miss them. Mine does fine on plated and jacketed rounds every time. But if I go to cast bullets, something like a little 380, sometimes it won't pick them up.
Anything to do with color?
What's that?
Anything to do with color?
No. It just doesn't seem to like to create the inducted electric current that it needs to do with lead, as opposed to something copper going across the sensors.
you guys are confusing me.
No, you came in that way.
No, man, my Magneto Speed's on my Tomos moped.
Well, we had magnetos in the airplane too.
And it's red, but they did come in blue and white.
okay,
There's
next,
a difference
next
between Magneto Speed and Magneto Speedo. I assume there's quite the difference.
Oh. Well, you said Magneto Speed.
Okay. So that question, I think he's talking about how far below the path of the bullet does that bayonet have to be? The bayonet affixes to the firearm itself. You guys have never seen them. And sticks out the front, either attaches to the barrel or to a pick rail. And they tell you to set it up so that it's about a 1/4 inch from the path of the bullet as it exits the barrel. I've never tried it any farther than that, Rob. So I don't know, how far below you could actually get it and still read it. If you get it up much higher than that, you start running the risk of hitting it. But
so Timothy Burkett wants to know where you're from, Hillbilly. Southwest Arkansas, Southwest Missouri.
Yeah, I responded. Southwest Missouri, Ozark Mountains.
So
They're Northwest Arkansas.
is there a town close to you called Nixa?
Yeah.
How far away is that?
45 minutes maybe at the tops. 30, 45.
There's Christian Grest. Welcome in.
Hi, Christian.
Hey, Christian.
I've been on this kick lately where I'm watching a lot of see, when I'm at work, I work on Chromebooks and I can't get up, and I watch a lot of y'all's videos and I can't get up and comment on them, or I'm running back and forth and not getting any work done. So
Yeah.
usually I put on some of your videos and then I let YouTube feed from whatever. And so I get Vice Grip Garage, I get Puddin's Fab Shop, and I get Mortske Repair, and then I get Walter, and then I'll get CWs all in a row, and it just feeds you whatever. But one of the things that got on this past week was a 48 hours where they do cold case, files, cold case. There's Ashley. She sent me a box. Her and Scotsman sent me a box. I got to show that stuff off, and I want to talk more about CW's trip to the swap meet. Anyway, do you remember? Let's see if I can remember the lady's name. Jax. Her last name was Jax. Was it Jennifer Jax? Anyway, she was from Nixa, Missouri, and it took them over 20 years to solve her case.
Yeah, I remember that. And then also there was 3 girls that disappeared up in that area too, a mother and 2 daughters.
I think it was the same guy.
Yeah.
And he was a big deal. He was a big prominent member of the. Anyway, that ain't what we're here about. Tonight, I thought we would focus on your guys' questions. But one thing I kind of wanted to talk about is home defense shotguns. And we'll show off some of them here in a minute. But we got lots to talk about tonight. I hope all y'all are already eat supper and got you a nice drink to keep yourself hydrated. There's Gizzard Gary. Wow, man, what's going on? Are y'all want to show those pictures now
Sure, why not?
Sure.
of the shotguns?
Yeah.
And this is just an email I got today, and it's from Smoky Mountain Guns and Ammo, and let's see if I can make this work. Worked earlier. There's the Mossberg Shockwave, and that's stainless Cerakote, and that's got a pretty hefty price tag on it. And then you got the Remington 870, which is basically the same thing, TAC 14. That one's a 20 gauge, and it's right around that $400 price point. Maverick 88, they actually put a AR-15 grip on that one. And you guys in the side chat, I have no way of seeing when I present like this. I can't see the. All right, this would be the one that I would want probably out of the Winchester SXP. I don't like those short knobby handles. I just don't see how that could ever be comfortable. And the Stevens with the pistol grip, and that's a much more reasonable price. But I really like the heat shield on that there. And then we'll get into the price of the ammo for these things. Barnes Defense number 3 buckshot, 17 pellets, $18 for 5 rounds. 12 gauge, I think that's a box of 10, and it's $8. That's much more reasonable. That's double op. And then I don't know, that's a slug, and that's 10 rounds for $13. Still seems a little high. Make you want to start loading shot shells, fellers. And then Hornady American Whitetail 12 gauge slug, 1 ounce, That's 5 rounds for $11. So you're looking at $2.10 a piece, $2.20 a piece for those. I don't think so. All right, so I wanted to show those off and see what you guys thought of, if that's something that, does anybody have any of those shockwave kind of things? Does that seem like a viable thing that you would consider?
I had one. I had the TAC 14, and it was more of a novelty. It was more of a, I got to have a short barreled shotgun without having to pay the tax stamp. But shooting it, it just really wasn't comfortable, and it wasn't accurate. I know there are methods you can use to try to put things on target, which would get you close, but I have a New England Firearms pump shotgun, a Pardner, that short enough barrel, a nice full stock on it. I trust that thing more to put shots on target than I did that TAC 14, and I kind of unloaded that over the summer just because I needed to make some room. And I'll fall back on that Pardner anytime I want. I'd rather have a full stock than that pistol.
That's my thinking, and I think that's the reason I wanted to talk about it tonight. Hillbilly, I know you're a shotgun guy, and I know CW is as well.
Yeah. That's something that I've always setting available. So my wife, if I'm gone or would happen to be outside, whatever the case might be, she knows how to pump that thing and pull the trigger. And so yeah, it's something that we like to have. I mean, even besides the a pistol or whatever, it's something that's just inside the house or something like that. It's gonna work, no doubt about it. So
yeah, most of the guys are saying full stock.
Yeah, they're handy. But what they're handy for is the concealment side of it, because they're smaller and shorter,
Yeah.
and they're not a concealment thing. A lot of states, I should say, have you can't even carry those. They don't want you to carry them, so it's really a non-issue. But I found it nice on the side by side. It was nice for that because I could have it. It was short. I could have it on the machine, stow it away, yet be able to grab it. So for that, it was really nice. And I picked up a 410 way back at the beginning of COVID. Well, way back in 2020 when it first hit. I wanted a axe, Henry axe, and the prices for those went crazy high right at the beginning of COVID, and I just wouldn't pay the dollars. And I found this, I know I forgot the name of it. Basically, it's a scaled down 870, which appeals to me because I really like the Remingtons. But it's got a spring in the pump. So when you pull it back, the spring closes the pump. So it's pretty quick. And it's light and short, and it's got one of those funky looking grips on them. It's kind of awkward. You can't put it up and look down the barrel, and it's unfortunate because the top of this receiver has a channel in it that when you stand behind it to shoot it and look at it, it's almost like a rear sight, a partridge rear sight. So you can put your front bead right in there and have a really good aiming, sight picture. But it's so awkward to do that with the pistol grip that they put on it. So it kind of, like you say, it doesn't hurt to shoot. It's only a 410. It's fine. And you can practice and get okay with it shooting from the hip. But as much as I don't like lasers, they're really tailor-made for a laser because they're a point to shoot situation. But like I said, they were really handy to have on the machine, just to have something for a snake or whatever, just to have something defensive when you're in the middle of the woods in the middle of the night. So I liked it for that purpose. But like Mark said, I also have a nice short H&R. Mine's a single shot that I've had forever. That's a takedown. And I've done a couple videos with it. It's a model 1900. It's a real old one. And I've decked it all out, chopped it down and threaded for screw-in chokes and refinished the stocks and Cerakoted it. And it's a nice have it with you type of a scenario. And it's pretty short, but it's got a full stock.
Yeah. And I don't have one, a home defense shotgun. I've got a couple sitting in the safe. One of them is my granddaddy's gun. I haven't shot it. It's an old Winchester. It needs to be restocked. But I've been considering it for a year now and haven't acted on it. And it's not like they're expensive. Either for me, it would be either that Winchester Defender or a Remington 870. When I was working with the sheriff department, we had the 18-inch Remington 870s. I'm pretty familiar with that one. But I'm with most of everybody else here. I do not like those pistol grip or cut off stock versions at all. You're going to be probably shooting from the hip, and I want the rest of that stock up against my hip bone and go for it. So, simpler the better. You want something that's going to work, and it's going to work when you pick it up. You're not going to have to worry about is the magazine all the way in, is it blah, 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 blah. Shotgun, rack it, and pull the trigger, man. And just
Yeah. Yeah, I actually have a pistol grip for my Maverick, and I put it on there, and I didn't like it. Now, I also put a forearm grip that's connected to the pump, the slide. And the reason I did that is, in that one, actually, I have the 18-inch barrel and then like a 28-inch barrel. And those are real easy to change. So, like, if we go trap shooting or whatever, and the case has 18-inch on it, but then it only takes just not even a minute to change, put the longer barrel on there for shooting trap. And the reason I went that way is so like my wife, daughter, and a few of them, and I shoot it too. It's in a lot of my videos, but with that forward stock grip, it's easier for them to, hang on to it and point it, but I took the pistol grip off of it. I didn't like it. It just has a regular butt stock on it.
So Walks likes the Winchester Model 12 and the Remington 870. He said both of them were the best pump shotguns ever made. So
they're both real simple.
I'm an 870 fan.
yeah,
Man. There's 870s in my family. It's been around for years, generations, and they're still running.
Yeah, I'm an 870 guy. I saw too many of the Mossbergs break, and then they come out with the better one with the Marines or military contract with the steel fire control, and those were pretty good. They always shot well for me, but I've seen too many of them break. And when they break, they break the fire control and they don't fire anymore. So that was just a big no-no for me. The Model 12s were great guns, but they were more dollars and discontinued by the time the 870 was really doing good. So I lean more with the 870s.
Duffer says his 870 Wingmaster was the best shotgun he ever had. I had one too, and I sold it like a moron. I had two barrels for it, and I could kill myself for selling that. I should never have done it. And the guy I sold it to is a friend of mine. I keep trying to buy it back from him. He won't sell it. He knows what he's got, you know. And
Yeah,
he
they made a
anything.
couple of them. They made a number of different ones. I've got a few of them. They made a lightweight Wingmaster, and they made a Premier, and they made a
right.
what was the other one called? They had short mag tubes. Special field.
I stand corrected. Mr. Walk says the 870 is the best. The M12 is finest. There is definitely a difference.
Yeah, the Model 12.
It's hard to go wrong with.
But just like the Ithaca and the 87, they'll slam fire, and that's a big deal in a pump shotgun.
Yeah,
I think all you need, Abigail's, is a light, if that.
Yeah, that's one thing. I'm a firm believer on your defensive shotgun needs a light on it.
Yeah, there's almost no point in not having one.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, we got.
but I like your idea of the laser too.
There's Chris from the 740.
Hey, Chris.
What's up, buddy? You got a link if you want to pop in and join us, as does the Scotsman. Walks is all decked out. 2 12 gauge 870s, 5 barrels, 1 20 gauge, 2 barrels. What about if you got one shotgun with 2 barrels? I think it's a shame we can't show guns anymore. But
Yeah. It really is.
Kyle was talking earlier about you need a full stock, double barrel, short barrel. And I'm like, oh, you mean a Coach gun? He said, exactly, in 10 gauge. I'm like, ouch.
There you go.
Yeah.
Man, I had the opportunity quite a few years ago to buy the Ithaca side-by-side 10 gauge. And it kicked like a mule. And I just did not buy it from a friend of mine's dad. And now I was so bad that I would have.
I got that New England Firearms 10 gauge that I use for turkey season, and that one barrel's enough. I don't really want to shoot that more than once a year, and it better be at a good turkey.
It better be, because that's going to hurt.
Oh, it wallops. I had to laugh. I took that apart one day to clean it really good, and I found a 8 or 9 inch
steel rod
iron bar in the buttstock in that tube in that channel, and they put that in there to try to absorb some of the recoil. Holy crap!
Yeah,
I thought it would be a good idea to take that thing out so I lighten it.
It doesn't
so
balance
carry
right.
it around. No, well, I thought I could carry it around the mountain better with it being lighter, and then I shot it without that thing in it and put it right back in. Holy moly! Those 3.5 inch 10 gauge magnums are no joke.
Oh, man.
Try a slug.
Yeah. 12 gauge 3.5 or
Slug will get your attention.
That's terrible enough.
Yeah. A buddy of mine did that. We were out skeet shooting, and he's like, he borrowed actually it was a 12 gauge from my uncle, and it took 3-inch magnums, and he told his wife, he's like, here, shoot this, it's just the same as your gun, but it's really nice. And he slipped a 3-inch in there, playing a trick on her, and it actually cracked her collarbone.
Oh,
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah. She was not happy.
There's Mr. Big Al out there. He sent me an email today, and we'll talk about that later if y'all want to.
Hello, Big Al.
hello, Big Al.
All right, that would be a semi-auto, wouldn't it?
Yep, 1187.
Y'all are blowing me up here. Y'all making me miss the comment I'm trying to highlight.
I have a Mossberg 500 that I picked up originally intended for Seth, and got the regular barrel on it. And then days later, I happened to find a cantilever slug barrel, and boy, that's just a real nice combination to have both of those. And in 20 gauge, it's not too hard hitting, as far as on the shoulder, but boy, it will put a nice big lead slug out there and make a big hole. And the 20 gauge shot barrel, it's fantastic. Great for taking small game. We've had a lot of fun with it shooting claybirds. Just a real nice all around gun having those two barrels.
Those 3.5-inch turkey loads in 12 gauge will rattle your fillings in your teeth. Y'all know I ain't kidding.
Nope.
And they all kick
buddy.
3.5-inch shells, James.
Yeah, especially those single shots. They can be really light.
Yeah, but ain't they fun?
Yep.
I got one I've got chopped down to 18 inches. I put a Kickies recoil pad on it. It weighs like 4 pounds.
Oof.
And it shoots slugs. You can cover them with your palm of your hand at 50 yards. Shoots really good. I put peep sights on it. Shoots really good, but it belts you. It belts you hard.
I have an old Champion 16 gauge I have cut down to about 18 and a half, 19 inches. And boy, does it give a good thump on your shoulder.
Now, a buddy I shoot skeet with, he has a Benelli that's just made for, skeet shooting. And, man, that's a sweet gun. But I could never bring myself to pay the price for that thing. At least not now. But some of those high-dollar skeet shooting guns, I mean, you're talking $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, when they're serious about it.
If not double that.
Yeah, you can
I mean, just starting off.
You can get up to 20 grand before you know it. You start having one of them things fitted for you.
I remember I told a story a number of months ago about that 3-barreled gun that I looked at. It was a 28 gauge with a 22 Magnum barrel. And I guess it would be a drilling, but it was like $80,000.
Oh man, I can either buy me a house or I can buy me a shotgun. And
yeah.
Let me get back up here to Mock's comment. There was a cowboy movie I watched one time where a guy took a double barrel shotgun and cut the barrels off about maybe a foot long, and then rounded off the. He couldn't hit anything with a single action army, the
Oh,
revolver.
the John Wayne movie, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't John Wayne. It seems like it was.
Well, no, it was a John Wayne movie. It was what the heck's his name? It was
Dean
the
Martin.
remake. No, it was. What the heck is his name? He was in The Godfather.
James Caan.
Yes.
Yeah, and he played a young guy, young cowboy,
Yeah. he
and
shot the
John
sign
Wayne was trying to
sign
teach him to
wrong and
shoot,
hit
and
the
he
guy in
couldn't.
the head.
I said,
That was it. Yep.
Kyle says Colorado. Is that the name of it?
No,
I think that was his name in the show, maybe.
That was the cowboy's name, Colorado.
Oh, okay.
This was a whole movie about just that guy, though. I mean, it wasn't a John
Okay.
Wayne. It was obviously a stolen idea.
Yeah, and I mean,
Mark says it was El Dorado.
Oh yeah,
Is that right?
that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have to go watch that tonight now. I haven't seen it
yeah,
for a
Ron
while.
Wayne had said that too. El Dorado,
Okay, I guess that was it.
Mississippi. But yeah, I mean, we had an incident around here. It was, I don't know, a few months ago. That I don't know, couple 2-3 ridges over, there's this little local hardware store, and it caught on fire. And so we're sitting there watching TV like 10 o'clock at night, and we're hearing like these booms, kind of like gunshots. Like, what in the world? Which, I mean, it's nothing to kind of hear some gunshots around here, every now and then, but just kept coming. And then I couldn't see over there because, all the big trees and stuff. But I seen like some lights, flashing lights, like cops or whatever. And then I seen like, without sirens, they kind of pulled down this one back road. I could see across over there that went down the hill. It's just more of a trail. And we kept hearing this. So I was like, man, they might be after somebody. And so, of course, I got my stuff and, I went out on the back porch because that's the direction it was. But that's another thing. I gave my wife, I told her to grab the shotgun. And I'm like, don't shoot me. It's like, if something happened, and somebody was in the house or whatever, she had a pistol too, but I was like, the shotgun was what my choice was for her to have at that moment. There's no doubt about that. But it ended up being nothing. It was, the hardware store is just some paint cans and all that stuff, blowing up from the fire. But
GGW, that might be the one I'm thinking about. He was a bounty hunter, and he couldn't hit anything with a pistol. So he sawed off that shotgun and carried it in a holster like a pistol, and he could draw it as quick as most folks could draw their pistol. Thanks, Big Al. I appreciate it. Yeah, that might be the one I'm thinking about, GGW. I have to look that one up. There was something else. Oh, Rick Harris. Guys, these Turkey's coming out with some awful nice shotgun. they're making some good stuff over in Turkey right now. Will I ever trust it like I would trust a Winchester? Probably not, but you can get it for half the price, if not less. There you go, Andy.
James Caan's character in El Dorado carries a sawed-off side-by-side because he can't shoot. That's a good one.
Oh, yeah.
I don't see how you can argue that point, Walks. He did show off in The Rifleman, didn't he? What I liked about that show was there was always a good moral lesson for the youngsters as you was watching that show. So there's that. You guys, y'all are all y'all are just awesome. Don't point that thing at me. I can hear him saying it.
He says
Tim
the
S
best
said
place
he's
to be
seen
is behind him when that thing goes off.
That's a fact.
Tim S says that Turkey has a clone of the Benelli. I might be able to afford one of them.
I'm working on some stuff.
3 Jeep, I'm glad you thought of us. I wish you would have got in contact. Would have been nice to see you. Said he was road tripping through Pennsylvania and thought of me and James Pugh.
Oh. Yeah, sure. I sure do like shotguns, and man, I want to shout out Michael Dunn again for gifting me that brand new shotgun reloader. So that's something I want to do this winter is get started with that. And then I've been, of course, saving all my brass, so I'll probably get a brass tumbler and something to take the primers out, and at least get all those shined up nice. Anyhow,
Yeah, I've got a new shotgun loader. I've got a I can see them M4 clones being good. Yeah, I can't keep up, guys. If I get
Hey,
off,
Ron, that's one of my favorites too.
Yeah.
He was limping. He was limping when he came out. Seth and I just watched that movie here a week or two ago when the cable was out. We had a lot of fun watching that one.
There's Boomstick.
Hey, Boom.
Well, he had some fun looking targets. I don't know if you guys watched his video today. But I'm definitely wanting to get me some of them.
There's Boomstick. We are late going through the side chat, so what should we have everybody type? How about 12?
Perfect.
Just plain 12. Tommy Boy got it first. All right, here we go. Are we ready?
They're flying.
There's Hasbro.
There you has. Goodness sakes.
So we had Tommy Boy was first, followed closely by Walter Viejo. There's Thomas Christie from Sneed, Louisiana. Welcome in, buddy. C.W. Longshot, Mark Thomas, Big Al, Andy 79Z28, Bobby Barlow, 6-shooter Texan, Duffy 426, Bama Dad, Gizzard Gary, GGW Outdoors, Michael Dunn, Tactical Fud, Walks Fletcher, Rick Harris, Bama Dad, the Scottish American Christian Grest, Paul Loud, James Pollard reloading from the hot pot, Papa's Place, Corners and Doors, Hillbilly Up, Chris from the 740, one guy, Abigail Finnegan, Walks Fletcher, Johnny 1982, Info Bros, Ron Wayne, Hasbro again, 3 Jeep Discovery, Hasbro, Timothy Burkett, Thomas Christie, Aluminum Tarmac from Sheldon, Iowa, Hipparchus, Hasbro, Rick Harris, Tactical Rabbit, Edward Petty, Andre D'Angelo, Paul Loud says a dozen. Christian Guest says that's a lot of 12s. Harm, Dwayne 7834, Walks Fletcher 16 gauge is best. I would not argue that either. James Pugh, Kyle, James Pollard 12 Jiffy Mix, Chessboard, Lakeview Outdoors, Bubba Triclops. What's going on, Bubba? And I think that's all. Oh, Del Pogue.
Well, that's a big group out there.
And Big Al 12. Check this out.
56.
12 times 20 plus 30 equals 270.
270 is just a number, right?
No, it's the greatest cartridge ever conceived by man.
I knew you were going to say that. How did we know?
Too bad it didn't win 2 world wars.
Yeah. I find it odd that it's so great, but everybody's got to remind everybody how great it is. If it was so great, you wouldn't have to remind nobody.
Exactly. That's my thoughts on it. You wouldn't even have to say it. Everybody already know it. Unfortunately, that's not the case.
Well,
We know it's around those 9mm. CW.
Some people just
9mm.
some people just refuse to recognize, so you have to keep saying it, you know.
But so many different cartridges around the world were developed off of the one that won 2 world wars.
Yep. I mean, I think when talking wars, man, or whatever, you got to give some respect to 270, 30-06, and a 12 gauge.
Duffer, shots fired. Do they make 270 anymore?
Paul Loud says 270. Never heard of her.
You wouldn't be wrong, Rick.
Yeah,
That's
there's,
hard. That's
there's
hard.
no accounting for taste.
Well, some people only taste they've got in their mouth.
That would be me. But then there's CW. You guys want to see some CW kryptonite? I made some this week. It's going to make CW. It's going to make him fall off of his chair.
9
That
millimeter
right
round
there,
nose.
that's a 9mm round nose that I'm going to go shoot out of a 9mm 1911.
Oh my God! The only thing worse will be a single action.
That's a Seiko mold. I showed him that earlier this week and told him, don't look at it. And he looked at it anyway. And didn't see him again for 3 days.
All right, I'm gonna make a confession right here, and I know y'all probably don't want to hear it. And then I got a text I got to read you. That there's a mold from Lee. It's a Tumble Lube, 124, 356, 124 grain Tumble Lube. I've got that in the 6 cavity mold. I cannot make that shoot for nothing.
Some of those tumble lubes just don't work well as well as the standard ones.
Yeah, I'm thinking of trying to make a slick side out of it if I can find the right size drill bit.
That fellow that I told you about a few weeks ago, J.W. Sig, he loves that mold.
Yeah,
and he's getting great results out of. I think it's a Ruger.
Yeah, people do. I just haven't really had good luck with tumble lube bullets. The last one that I did was that 10 millimeter 175, and I literally bought a conventional lube version of it, and it shot in everything.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I have both those. I have the tumble lube and the traditionally lube version. You know, got one lube groove in it, and the lube groove version shoots really good. I haven't tried it in that 10 millimeter yet, but I got some ready to go. But it works really good in my 40. It's a good bullet, but couldn't make the tumble lube version work. It kind of did, but nowhere near the performance that the other one does.
Y'all say hey to Brooke Cheney. Nice to see her out there.
Hey, Brooke.
Hey, Brooke.
And Rick, I would agree. 25-06 is probably very underrated. Big Al, 6.5 Creedmoor, and I own both. 6.5 Creedmoor wants to be 270 Winchester whenever it grows up. And it won't. And
It won't.
6-shooter Texan saw a Marlin 336 and 35 last Sunday, $700. I paid $159 for mine in 1980, brand new, and I wouldn't sell mine for $700.
I think I paid $5 for mine back in February, March. I got very intrigued by a Ruger carbine, looked like an upscaled 10-22 and 44 mag the other day.
Which one, the Deer Stalker or the 44?
It was the 40. It was a carbine type.
Yeah, but which one? There's two of them. One had a tube magazine and one had a box magazine.
No, this was a tube magazine.
Yeah, that's the original one.
Yep.
Oh, chessboard's breaking my heart. And Walks agrees 25-06 is a good cartridge. And well, I think 3Jeep, I think CW and I both have expressed our feelings on the way Rossi has really stepped up their game. on their what they're producing.
Yeah, big time.
Yep.
You can buy that Rossi. What are they going for? $750, maybe less. If you buy a new Marlin 336 made by Ruger, what in the world are you going to have to pay for that? And Bama Dad scored something for me. I hope I'm gonna try to get over to see him not tomorrow but next weekend. My grand and Walks Fletcher 92, $156.
And
Dang.
that's something. Just
I give you
things
200
have
for
gone
it, buddy.
yeah, that's almost a $50 profit, Walk. You think what you could do with that? You could get a cup of coffee and a donut.
Um,
Oh boy.
Christian, you will love 35 Remington if you're not familiar with it. It's
You're
got,
gonna have trouble giving it back.
yeah, they're so dang. I was surprised at the accuracy out of a lever action, and what I'm able to get out of mine was some good hand loads. And Tommy Boy says the new Marlins are 1,400 plus.
Oh my goodness.
Now I did see a 94 and 44 Magnum sell for $1,000 at my local gun store. And I just got a text when we were going through 12 gauge and all of that from Scotsman says 44 will blow a man's head clean off.
Oh,
Wonder who he heard say that. I'm afraid you're going to have difficulties there, Boomstick, particularly if it's an older one with that pencil barrel.
Yeah, I've had a couple. None of them have been accurate. We had one new one. My brother-in-law bought a new one with a heavy barrel. It just, I mean, it was accurate enough for what it was, I guess, but it was not great.
There's Bald and Curious. What's up, Mr. Val? Yeah, Mike Hester said he sold a blued guide gun for 1,000. Maybe it's just the stainless ones that are costing so much money. Those are nice too, Christian. Those, which kind of brings us up to another topic, and then we got to get to Mr. Gene, who's been quiet over there, hiding from us. If you were, and okay, lever action, you pick the model, you pick the caliber. If you've got your choice between a Marlin or a Henry, and you can pick the parameters, whatever. What are you going to buy? You going to buy a Henry? Or you going to buy a Marlin? I'm just.
That'd be a tough call if you had never shot both of them. I've never fired a Marlin lever action. All of my levers, except for one, are Henrys, and the one is my old model 94 Winchester in 30-30. But so that'd be a hard call to make if you hadn't shot plenty of both of them, I would think.
I've shot both of them quite a bit, and I mean, both are tremendous guns. I mean, they really are. And like you said, it's a tough one. But I don't know, man. My love for Marlin, if I had to make a choice, I'd probably go with the Marlin. I don't know.
I've shot them both, and I definitely go with Marlin.
I know 6-shooter Texan's about ready to throw rocks at Henry. He had his broke again. He's done with them, I think.
Man, we've got
It's the second time it went down.
If I'd have to say a favorite, though, it would have to be a Winchester 92 or an 86 or a 71. That would be a favorite over the Marlin.
There's my thing. My buddy Pollard thinks like I do. Christian says Henry just because it doesn't have the crossbolt safety, but I love the older Marlins. Now you're talking about a different apple and orange.
Yeah.
Those older Marlins are Henry's are top notch, no doubt about it.
Yeah, I don't think I'd ever get rid of any of my Marlins. I never really have. I mean, I just know I can always pick them up and they're going to run. And that was buying them way cheaper than what they're worth right now.
Yeah, I have zero experience with the Henrys, and definitely would take a Marlin over it. Just price and what I see. And boy, love the Winchesters too. Be hard pressed to pick a Henry over a Winchester or a Marlin.
Yeah.
All right. 6-shooter Texan got his shipping notice from Henry today. Good deal. Tactical Rabbit says Winchester 30-30. That wasn't one of your options. Well, there you go. Take it from a man who owns one. Henrys are nice, but not made for high volume shooting.
I got
When
7
Tommy
or 8
Boy-
of them, and they've all functioned pretty well for me. But I can't say that I've shot high volumes through any of them. My 45-70's probably got 50 rounds through it, and that's it. And then, I had to wait 2 more years for my shoulder to heal up.
So when Tommy Boy said no more micro groove barrels, he's talking about the new ones don't have the micro groove.
Right.
Is that what he's
Ruger,
Yes,
Ruger's using their hammer forged barrels. Coal hammer forged.
which to me sounds like a better deal but I don't really know that much about the Marlins. As I said, I've never owned one. So.
that 22 Magnum lever action Marlin? It's a 57 or 58 M for micro groove, and that thing's just been a champ throughout 3 or 4 generations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they.
Yeah, you're not exaggerating, Tommy Boy. I slugged that 44, and it's running 433 plus.
Wow. That's a fat bullet you got to stick in there.
I'm shooting 434s in it to make it shoot.
Did you have to get a custom sizing die for that?
I know we
Did somebody make a 434?
I know we make-
Okay.
Man, MCK didn't have to say that. They're making me hungry.
I know, right?
That would go pretty good about now too. I didn't, as
That's how you do it.
yeah, I ain't eat yet.
I was really hoping that Scottish American would chime in on this question because I happen to know that he owns a Henry in 3030 Winchester and a Marlin in 44 mag, and I know they're different models, but I was just wondering which one he liked the best. Dang, Mr. Pollard, I need to ride down to Macon and help you with that. All right. Okay. So, Gene, are you ready? Wait a minute.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm not ready.
You woke Gene up for nothing? Come on, man.
Let me see if I can figure this out now.
I dare see Debbie let me do it now.
Sorry.
I apologize.
That's all your
It's
fault.
time for our weekly segment called What's Hot Pot Got?
I love that picture of Gene.
At the end.
He just looks a cool looking photo.
What have I got tonight? I got something pretty cool I found.
There we go.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is a 7.35 by 51 Carcano. This is an Italian cartridge designed in 1938 for World War II. It is according to my information I found, it is a redesigned 30-06. Next, let's see. It's a rimless bottleneck cartridge. Bullet diameter is 7.57. The average cartridge or bullet weight was 128 during its usage time. I got a bunch of other stuff on here about it, but I just thought this was really cool. It was designed during the 1930s to replace the 7.5 by 52 millimeter used by the Italian military. Unlike the 6.5 millimeter, the 7.35 featured a Spitzer style bullet to minimize resistance in flight to make it more accurate. So this was Italy's main rifle cartridge during parts of World War II. See on the base here. I thought that was a neat one. I found that come through, seen it was different, so I picked it up.
Very
That is
cool.
cool, man.
And that is what Hot Pot's got.
I'm thinking 7.35 might be pushing on up there toward the 8 millimeter.
No, it's 300. It's 300, Jamie. 298 is the diameter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's smaller. I'm thinking 7.62.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was a cool one when I seen that.
Do you see much of that brass, Jamie? I mean, Gene?
A little bit of it. I mean, it's kind of it's kind of weird to find it. I mean, I've got a bunch in a bucket. That's just it's intermixed. It's intermixed through the bucket when I find stuff like this.
7834, I think, is loading that. Looking for brass.
I mean, one day I'm going to line up about 30 different buckets because there's at least 25, 30 different cartridges in this one bucket that I just pitch in there when they're odd, because we consider those to be oddballs. You know, I'm looking for 30-06, 308, 243.
There's probably 6 different 6.5s from that same era, from different different countries.
Yeah, I did read that about it. 6.5 became a very popular cartridge.
Yep.
During that time period, and
a whole bunch of countries had it.
Still is.
No, Info Bros. The 6.5 Carcano's what took out Kennedy, allegedly.
I was trying to clear my throat to answer that one.
Bub was asking about 450 brass. I think I got a bucket back in the back of the shop that I sorted out. 5-gallon bucket full. Unless they've come through and got it and sold it, but I think I seen it the other day. I haven't worked in that area for a minute. We've been doing other things.
Their 6.5 was a weird design, though. Because everybody wanted to go to a longer, sleeker bullet, and that 6.5 Carcano had a round nose, almost like a 30-30 bullet.
Well, yeah, some of them did. Some of them had a round nose soft point. Other ones were like a boat tail style. The 7.35 is the one that is the more boat tail style. When you look at the 6.5, that's the one that's got that round nose soft tip. I got it right here.
That's why I'm talking about 6.5.
Yeah, the 6.5 is the one in the center with that round nose.
Yeah.
And the 7's over there.
That's a lot of bullets sticking out of that case neck, ain't it?
Yep.
That's a lot of bullet down inside that case neck, too. That's a big old honker. I do not want to get wrapped up with that.
I'm telling y'all got to watch out for Paul Loud. Mike Hester says a 264 Win Mag took out Kennedy. That may be. You feeling weird yet, Gene?
No.
The Scotsman says the CIA took out Kennedy. He was not part of the establishment. And Paul Loud says Colt 45 took out Ted Kennedy.
I seen a video on Kennedy's assassination that they had a conspiracy theory that the driver of the car did it.
I've heard that theory. Big Al 270 took out JFK. I've also heard that theory, Mike, and I kind of tend to go with that because what's his name? Woody Harrelson said his dad killed him with a .222 Fireball from one of those little Remington pistols, kind of like a Contender.
XP 100.
XP 100.
Big Al said 270 killed disco. I thought 270 started disco. You know, the rainbow bulbs hanging in the ceiling, all spinning around.
Dwayne
Well-
7834 said he's been, or a friend went to Dallas and said the shot was 100 yards. I went to Dallas many years ago. It was on one of my business trips. We went to that book building, went up in that floor and looked out the window. It was probably somewhere between 125, 150 yards, what it looks like. But it was not an easy shot. And Oswald with that old Italian rifle, could he have done it? Maybe. I mean, a blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then. But some of those conspiracy theories, they really start to look feasible when you've actually been there and looked at that shot. It's something.
I think Forrest Gump may have had something to do with it because that clip there wasn't on the movie.
Yeah.
All the other stills in history was.
I've heard official reports, Mark, that it's 80 to 85 yard shot.
Yeah, from that elevation though, it looks different. And Big
Right.
Al, I get it. It's an easy shot if it, a horizontal 80 to 100 yards, but from that elevation and that weird angle, it's just I can't say I could make that shot. No way.
Well, how many feet in there? How many stories up was the room?
I want to say it's about 8. I might be wrong.
I mean, any of us that's like grew up in these hills, it don't matter if you're shooting a bow or a gun. You're shooting downhill. You got to practice for that. Like if you never shot, downhill a lot, you'll shoot high every time.
It wasn't open sights either. Bald. He had a little
I think you had a Tasco from Walmart.
little 4-power.
The center point, wasn't it?
Leopold.
Southern Rock helped kill Disco. Leonard Skinner. He ain't wrong.
Freebird.
I said, thank goodness for hair metal and Southern Rock killing disco.
Yeah, y'all don't want to get started on the Kennedy thing because we'll be here all night. And yes, I agree, Mr. Pollard. The part that I don't agree with in the whole scenario is that one shooter shot from the rear and his head goes back like that. I think we've shot enough to know better than that BS. And that he got off 3 rounds in just under 6 seconds. Not with that rifle. Not with that rifle. In my opinion.
Rick Harris said John Travolta is what killed Disco.
I walked into a classroom to one of my colleagues today just to do something and say hello. And she's my vintage. And she says, welcome to my sweat hogs. And I looked out over the group and, oh my God, she literally had Vinnie Barbarino. She had Boom Boom Washington. She had Juan Epstein. And we had to stand there and laugh.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, how many years later, and we're looking at it in today's classroom, and oh my God, it was perfect.
Man, that'd be awesome.
The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know what you're talking about, you'll just have to Google "Welcome Back, Carter."
Yep. And he's making big bucks on the poker tour now.
I remember growing up, I had one of those, those iron-on glitter shirts. You remember those from back in the late early 70s, early 80s, and it said big letters on it in glitter, "Disco sucks." I wanted to make the statement. If I was going to do it, I wanted to do it right.
Tim S. It's ooh, ooh. Not just oh.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
Mr. Carter, Mr. Carter.
Mr. Carter.
Yes,
Poor
there
Chef.
was. Remington 788 was one of the cheaper lines from Remington back in the day. I don't remember the dates, but probably 60s and the 70s. They made a number of neat calibers in it too. They loaded it in 44 mag, 30-30, and a number of regular calibers like 308 and 6mm Rem and 243. And the
I
like.
wouldn't mind finding one of those in 30-30. I've always wanted a 30-30 bolt action.
Yeah, they get big dollars for them. Big dollars. It's a short box, so it's only the shorter calibers. But a friend of mine just bought one last year in 222, and we got to shoot it Sunday for the first time. It's a good shooter. I had one in 22-50 for a lot of years.
I remember looking at them and thinking about buying one because the price was
real attractive.
For a Remington, but the bolt seemed subpar to me, and I walked away.
You know who's got a bunch of them is Curtis up in Michigan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a few of them. They had a
Mm-hmm.
9 lug bolt, and the lugs were in the rear, and it was actually quite strong. People were worried about stretching, but in the calibers it really wasn't a problem. They came in hardwood stocks and walnut stocks, and there was a little differences through the years with them, but they had a proprietary box magazine. Like I said, short action calibers, and their most desirable is 30-30 and 44 mag.
Yeah, Tommy Boy, it was like they were they had the bolt face, and then the bolt shrank down, and then at the back it was like it was tapered, and yeah,
Remington had two weird ones. The 788, the bolt itself was normal. The bolt where it went in the receiver, it had lugs in the back. But then you had the 600 and the 660 series with the dog leg bolt handle that went backwards, and it was actually very, very comfortable to shoot from the shoulder with that style. But people either loved it or hated it for the looks of that bolt handle.
Not Andy.
Good night, Andy.
Good night, Andy. Thanks for being here, buddy. All right, y'all embarrassing me about 270. I guess I'm just gonna have to put it up and drag out my 30-06.
Rick Harris, I almost got one with my Jeep last night.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
I was probably about 15 yards away.
I almost hit one on the way to work one day this morning.
Yeah, they've been real active around here the last week and a half.
Yeah, I got one on the video camera doing a lot of horn rubbing and scent marking, and so they're getting close.
Yeah, the light's changing, but we've had we were near 80 degrees here today, 78,
Yeah.
I think.
Here too. Yeah, here too.
So the temperature just doesn't feel right to be out in the woods to hunt deer, but they're moving, they're chasing, getting to be that time.
Well, I don't know like what your guys' temperatures are. It was warm, fairly warm today out there shooting videos. I mean, not hot, but you know, if you stood out in the sun for a while doing stuff, you know, you might break a little bit of a sweat, but it was nice. Anyway, this front moved in and it had to drop at least 30 degrees within an hour. And we're talking like next 3 days getting pretty cool. So I hope fall's not over, but it'll get them deer moving around for sure.
Well, it's 9:31 or close to that, and it's still 65 degrees here in northwest Georgia, and it was in the 80s today.
Oh, you guys got warm.
Yeah, for us, they're calling for warm tomorrow and Sunday cooling off a little bit, and then some rain coming in on Sunday, and then the temperature's starting to drop. Next week, they're calling for cold. But we had 36, 30, 35 or 36 here Tuesday morning. So
yeah,
that's more what it should be.
Yep.
Well, I think this cool front will definitely hit like, you know, Kentucky and, you know, maybe Tennessee and stuff the way it's coming through. So
yeah, it'll be here next week.
It's predicted
JJ
here.
Rainey, welcome in. He said it's 70 in Michigan right now. Harm, I don't know where you guys are, but he said it got up to 30 today.
That's cold, unless
Yeah.
it's Celsius.
Now, see, that weather right there is perfect deer hunting weather. 37, high 60. I can live like that. So, yeah. Okay, it's time for our verse of the week. Let's see if I can. Okay, we've been on the Beatitudes from Matthew chapter 5, verses 7 and 8. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. I don't think there needs to be a whole lot said about that. That's pretty straight up and straightforward. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. The Bible is full of proverbs and verses that say basically you will reap what you sow. And of course, the pure in heart will see God. But this is just, this is like what I want people to understand is it's the Beatitudes are like the preamble of the Sermon on the Mount, which to me is the greatest sermon ever preached because it was preached by the Lord Jesus Christ. So there's that. Anybody else got any comments?
No, I was just going to say exactly what you said, that it's one of those that well, the two of them there together, they speak for themselves. It's uncomplicated, simple language that I don't see any way to misconstrue that. You know, that's an easy one to understand and accept, I think.
And Mike's got it, but it's hard to show mercy. It's a human problem.
It's very true.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And
Especially when you're talking about those whom you might consider to be your enemy. Difficult to show mercy sometimes.
well, he says if we want to be forgiven, we've got to forgive.
Yep.
And if we want mercy, we've got to show mercy. What?
Mhm.
Let me throw this scenario out there. When y'all see, and if you watch your local news, it's going to be full of it. You see crime victims, and they haven't found who done the crime yet, and the family is saying, "All we want is justice. All we want is justice." And I'm sitting here thinking, you don't want justice. What you want is mercy. Because we all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. So that's what we need is mercy. And that's exactly what Dave Ramsey talks about. One of my catchphrases is people say, "How you doing?" I'm saying, "Better than I deserve." And then they told me, "That's Dave Ramsey's line." And I'm like, "Who? I never heard of him." But that sinful man, what we deserve is death, hell, and the grave. But through the mercy and grace of the Lord Jesus Christ, through his blood, we have a better home waiting. Very good, Big Al. Tim S. For those who have seen God's mercy, it gets easier to give mercy. Amen.
Yeah.
Amen on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's something that, some people might not see mercy. Sometimes they don't know what it is. And
Johnny 1982. I have serious issues with forgetting when people have done me wrong. Part of the reason is God didn't command you to forget. He commanded you to forgive. I can forgive, but I can't forget. I've been burned too many times. Do you think the Lord saved you from death, hell, and the grave so that you can be a floor mat for a heathen to wipe their feet on over and over and over again? No. The Lord don't want you to be treated that way. He loves you too much. He tells us to forgive and we'll be forgiven. He don't say forget. He don't want you to repeatedly put yourself in a position to be taken advantage of. And that's what I believe, and that's what the way I try to live my life. Can I forgive? Yes, I can forgive. But there's also a scripture that says, how many times should I forgive? 7 times? And the 7 times is the number of completion, the number of perfection. And Jesus said, I say 7 times 70.
mm-hmm.
And so that means I'm supposed to give 490 times and then I can kill that sucker? No. It means you forgive forever. As long as somebody comes to you and apologizes and asks you to forgive them, you forgive them. Do you forget what they've done to you? Absolutely not. How can you? And that's my sermon for the night. Anybody else got any comments? Or?
That was well said, Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
Very well said.
I have
forgiven
a
many, but I
fondness.
do not forget.
I have a fondness for the Stoic philosophy. Marcus Aurelius, be strict with yourself and gentle with others.
Say that again.
Stoic philosophy, Marcus Aurelius, be strict with yourself and gentle or tolerant with others.
I like that, Rick. Sit by the river quietly and you'll see your enemies float by.
That or you can just stand in Walmart. They'll just walk right by.
God's sakes.
That's what somebody told me one time. So if anybody owes you money, just go stand in Walmart. They're for sure to walk by at some point.
Yeah.
All right. Pretty good verse of the week. Good interaction. Anybody else got any thoughts on the verse? Chessboard's laughing at us. I'm not from this planet. Welcome in. We was talking about shotguns earlier. I don't think that's wrong either, Mike. I'm just that way. That's our job as a man to provide and protect our family, to provide for and protect our family. And part of the way we do that is have a defensive shotgun by our bed, but not one with one of them little round ball handles on it.
You can try, but
I'm thinking about getting me one of them Winchester things. I'm thinking about getting the Winchester with the heat shield on it because it looks like a trench gun. It just looks so cool.
Yep.
Yeah. Plus, you can put you a scope on top of it with that Picatinny rail.
Nah. All right. So we got about 15 or 20 more minutes, then we got to start clearing the room for Gizzard Gary coming up at 10. Oh, one more thing I wanted to talk about. I got a box I got 2 boxes in the mail, and I should probably show those off, shouldn't I?
Yeah. See what you got.
Hold on a minute. I got to hurry, don't I?
Now we got lots of time. While he's looking, I got a new mold today. I ordered it Tuesday night from MP in Slovenia. And so it would have been late Tuesday night or early Wednesday morning when he sent it. It was here today.
Wow.
In California.
That crazy.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
He sends them to France, and then France to Newark, New Jersey, and then here. Unbelievable.
Yeah, that one I bought I ordered it Friday night and it was here on Monday,
Yeah, it's nuts.
and it was Monday noontime. It wasn't even the end of the day.
Last week I bought a mold from a fellow off of eBay, and he lives down in Anaheim. It took 5 days. It's only 250 miles from my house. They sent it clear up to Washington State and then all the way back
down.
for the U.S. Postal Service.
Man.
I could have drove out there and got it to you quicker than that.
Could have walked it faster.
Okay, Ashley A sent me some stuff, and one of the things I really treasure is this painting of the Christian flag. And I don't know if she meant to or not, but she's got a really nice painting on the back. So I can like 2-in-1 kind of thing going on there. Ain't that cool? Thank you, Ashley. I hope you're still out there.
Very nice.
That's really nice.
Yeah, that is nice.
She also sent me a blanket carpet kind of thing to put my patches on, which I did not have anything to display patches on. So,
All right.
That's pretty cool.
and it's a crying shame that Ashley has to send me a Gizzard Gary patch. And this one right here probably needs to go somewhere. I probably shouldn't have done that, should I? Also in the box, one more thing. I hope y'all like this because I really like this.
Oh yeah, that's neat.
Cool.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Here comes
Yeah.
YouTube strike. Good thing that's not loaded.
Even if you can see through it,
Clear it.
this is wall art, not a firearm. I'm just saying. I'm pretty sure this came from Big Al, and I want to thank him. So, appreciate you, my brother. That's going up there on the back wall. And I got another box as well, and I probably should do an unboxing video, and I will. This came from that dude over yonder. We've been talking about this for a while, and y'all heard him say how he went to a swap meet. Who has a swap meet for gun stuff? I mean, I've been to them for motorcycle stuff, but never for gun stuff. I wish somebody around here would do some stuff like that. So he was over there horse trading and sent me this stuff. Let me get it out of here. Me and him been talking for months about on and off. What kind
Longer
of?
than that, it goes back to Willie.
Yeah, it really does. This is what Willie intended for me to have. I'm pretty sure. And CW found the whole kit and caboodle. And this is so much nicer than I thought. It's got the micrometer adjust. What this is for is turning necks to uniform the thickness of your brass necks. So with this and some proper use, I may be able to get one MOA at 1,000 yards. And thank you, CW. I appreciate you more than I can say, brother.
You're welcome.
And I want to show you this that you don't know about yet. I mean, you know I ordered it, but Vista Outdoor Sales sent me.
Oh, it came. Good.
Pilots.
Nice.
This one's this is a 26 caliber.
For the Creed.
Yes. This is a 22 caliber for the 5.56. This is a 32 caliber for 8mm Mauser. And then I really probably shouldn't have, but I bought the 35 caliber for the 35 Remington as well.
Nice.
So you'll probably seeing more of that stuff in the upcoming weeks, months, and years. So thank y'all for.
Go ahead, Jamie. I'm sorry.
Thank y'all for letting me show that stuff off, because I appreciate our people that think enough of me to send me something.
That's some nice stuff there, buddy.
Yeah. I know, Paul. I got to reorder.
Problem with horse trading, fella ought to probably hold on to some horses. The price of gas keeps going up.
No, that's right. Yeah, Willie made me buy this thing from Lee, the three jaw chuck thing, and I think it takes the place of the cartridge holders, and you can just use your drill and all that. I'm not going to be doing that right away. Maybe I'll evolve into it, but I want to be able to feel what's going on.
You know what Willie would say.
Yeah.
You know what Willie would say.
Yeah. Let it rip, Tater Chip.
Yeah.
Woohoo! Woohoo! So thanks, Scotsman. Thanks, Ashley, and thanks, CW.
You're very welcome.
I'm glad to see you're feeling better, Jamie.
Well, I'm not 100% yet, but I am better. So we got about 10 till, I think. 12 till. Should we go ahead and start going through the room?
I think it's time.
All right, who wants to go first?
Let's start there with Mark Thomas.
Sure. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure to be here this evening. Wonderful hanging out with you fellas. Great having the side chat. Been really rocking and rolling this evening.
I want to hear about what was in your hand today.
Oh, yeah. After last Friday's conversation about dream guns, Saturday I stopped at a local shop after I was at school for a bit in the morning, and I found a 41 Magnum, but I didn't pursue it. I went back today, and I held it in my hands. I'm thinking about it. Came along with about 200 rounds of probably hand loaded, which I could pull it down. It's not a problem, but they're adding that into the price. So we're going to have to negotiate over a week or two and see what we can do about that. I made an offer, but it's a consignment piece. So there's no dealing with the shop. I got to deal with somebody else through the shop. I don't really like to do that, but we'll see what we can do. If not, I still have I have some brass already prepared. I ordered a mold, and I'll pick up a set of dies if I find any tomorrow. We're gonna go wander around a local gun show coming up, so I'll be prepared. We'll just see if we can make something happen.
Good luck.
Thank you. So, CW, that's a beautiful picture of you and your bride. Mike Hillbilly didn't really get to wish you a happy anniversary last week. I've got my 29th coming up this weekend.
Oh, yeah?
On the 29th. So I have to make mention of that
Nice.
for my wife. We've been been together a long time. Even more
Congratulations.
than that.
That's
Thank you.
great,
Congratulations,
Mark.
buddy. It's awesome.
That's
Absolutely.
very, very nice.
So thank
and
you.
you're already one up on Mr. Hillbilly because you remembered.
I remember you.
Of course, 29
across
over
the bow.
20. Yeah, I know, right?
I used to
I'm glad-
remember it because when we would change the clocks, that was when I would have to remember there was the anniversary. Now they bumped that a week. But
I sure am
No, it's
glad
been
I shut the door to this bedroom right now.
I know that. Hey, there's my buddy Scott inside Freedom. Before you run off, I need a prognostication for the Georgia Florida game tomorrow. So there's that.
Walter,
So-
what are you up to? What's
been
going
a
on
great
with
evening.
you?
Walter,
Well-
get after it.
Yeah. I had my sights on a 41 mag for quite a while, as you know, and I was all set. I rounded up the cash and was going to go buy a brand new model 57 Smith & Wesson. But then I broke a crown on one of my teeth last week, and the dentist charged me almost exactly what that new Model 57 was going to cost. So my dentist got my 41. I'll have to wait another month or two before I can swing that one if it's still there. There's one in the local gun shop here. But anyway, I'm still working on it. I'm like you. I got the brass, I got the molds and all that good stuff, but no gun. I got dies. I got it all. Just no gun yet. Working on it. I do have a new rimfire rifle that I'll break out of California's jail system on next Wednesday. I bought a Ruger precision rifle RPR in 17 HMR. So you'll be seeing that here. It'll take me a while to get a scope mounted on it and so forth. But so that's coming up. I got let's see, we put out a video on that Rumble only series of Free the Few that went up today. We'll have Moldy Monday coming up again this Monday, and I was counting up, and I got enough to make it to the end of the year easily if I don't miss any. So I'll have had 52 weeks in a row. That's what I'm shooting for on the Moldy Mondays. We'll see if we can get there or not. So we're not far off. We got 35 coming up on this coming Monday. So that's kind of where I am. I bought a new mold from MP, mentioned that earlier. So we'll probably cast that first part of the week. I'm getting it all cleaned up and got it heat cycled a couple times already. So that's where we are here at Casa de Viejo. I'm happy to be here as always. It's so much fun seeing what's going on over here on this side chat. It's just incredible to me, the amount of information that can get exchanged here and the amount of fun that we can have. So it's really, really good. And I appreciate being here, Jamie. So thanks a lot, everybody.
Thanks for
Walter,
being here, Walter.
Can I say something real quick, buddy? I hope you don't go back and go to pick up that gun. They say, buddy, a dentist just come in here and bought that last week.
I actually had a dream about that the other night. That I went in that she had bought it.
That would be terrible.
I'd be like, here, I'll trade you. Oh boy, there's Chad. If you haven't seen Chad Kelly's video, he finally won himself a nice night match here the other night and came out on top. Congratulations on that, Chad.
Oh, yeah.
Big thumbs up for that one, Chad.
What you got coming up, Gene?
Oh, well, as always, thanks for having me on here. I really look forward to Friday nights. I hope everybody's enjoying the cartridge series. I'm having a blast with it. I've got a bunch more to go through. I got another few months worth actually of some really cool stuff and maybe some common things to some people, but not known to others. Let's see. I got a match tomorrow. Hopefully I fare well in that. It's the last outdoor match of the year here. and we're gonna have a high 50s tomorrow, maybe up to 60. And then after that, it dips down. So not looking forward to that, but I will get through it. I hope everyone has a great, blessed weekend. Be the reason someone smiles. That's all I got with that.
Thanks, bud. Mr. Hillbilly.
Yeah, man. I just want to thank y'all for having me on here. I always have so much fun. Awesome show. Great panel. The side chat is just always amazing. I mean, it's just, I enjoy this. And thing is, a lot of times you guys see me mute myself, on the camera and stuff. I'm writing stuff down a lot of times. You guys are going through stuff because, I'm wanting to reload, hopefully one of these days soon. And then there's so much knowledge on this show. It's just, this is like, people say, well, for me too, like, man, I wish I could go back and ask my grandparents this or that or whatever, for knowledge that you had forgot or didn't know. You can find all that stuff right here on this show. It is so fun and great. I just want to thank you guys. Man, I got videos coming up. Halloween, man, I went ghost hunting, and that video's going to be coming up either tomorrow or Sunday. Had to kind of clear these Ozark Mountains of these ghosts so it's safe for the trick-or-treaters. So we went and did that. And then, of course, every Halloween, you just got to blow up pumpkins, I love blowing up pumpkins. And, yeah. And that old 12-gauge Ithaca, that thing loves to eat pumpkins, I'll tell you. So, anyway, got that coming up and just a lot of stuff, lined up and ready to come out. So, I just want to thank you all very much. And make sure you guys go out and check out these guys' channels on here and on the side chat. There's so much great channels on the side chat, too. A lot of great stuff in this show right here.
Well, thank you for being here, brother. We appreciate you.
Well, thank you.
Mr. C.
I didn't say goats. I said ghost. I know
Yeah, it sounded like
but...
goats at first, but good stuff.
No,
anyway.
no goats.
Either one is going to be amusing. I know it. So looking forward to that. Yeah, I posted a video this afternoon, about 6 hours ago. So you can check that one out. That's a new one. And I got a couple more ideas, a couple more videos coming out. I'm supposed to be going fishing tomorrow, so that ought to be good. This is a much bigger boat. There's only going to be 3 of us, but it's going to be more gentleman type stuff because I get an actual seat. I can't just find a seat. I get a seat, so it's going to be different. And the weather's supposed to be beautiful. They're calling for 70s again, sun. So it should be. I'm not going to know what to do for. It's blackfish season, tautog, and that is windy, cold. Your guides freeze up with the water. That's just the way it is. Waves. That's blackfish season, and it's tolerable for me because we fish real shallow. We're literally sometimes we're 20 feet from shore in a boat. And, we come out of the marina and we drive for 5 or 10 miles to get there, but we're in 8 or 15 feet of water right offshore, just a little farther than you can cast to. And the way you fish them is a little different. You got to be right in front of their nose. You can't. It's not like regular fishing. You could fish off one side of the boat and catch nothing, and go to the other side of the boat and catch a half a dozen, and move 5 feet up the boat and catch them, and move 5 feet farther up the boat and not catch a thing. It literally is that specific for them. Wow. They just don't move. So they're in rocks. They're in heavy rocks. So you're getting in the crevices is what you're doing. And so that's tomorrow. And then hopefully we're going to get to the range Sunday. If not, for sure, by Monday I'll be to the range because I want to finish up that 44. retest that load that shot good. I'm pretty good for me for deer season, so I don't have to prove anything else. But I've got another at least half a dozen stuff that I've loaded up over the past year that needs to be tested, sighted in, and it's video stuff. So that 458 2-inch going to be probably the next one coming up, and that got a lot of views. So that's one I want to do next, or soon, I should say. So that's about it. I'm not going to video tomorrow. It's not my boat. I'm not set up for it, so I'm not going to do it. But I'll probably have a few pictures. Jamie, what's going on with you?
Trying to keep a straight face. Ashley, thank you for the package. Thank you, Scotsman. Thank you, CW. I'm going to try to do a couple more 308 videos over the weekend, but I just been feeling so bad for so long. It's not been fun being me lately. So I want to thank everybody in the side chat. We had an outrageous number in here this evening, and thank you all for coming and hanging out with us, and thank you panel members for making what we do so much fun, and for your contributions to the show. And as GGW says, go dogs. It's Florida Hate Week. Hope y'all be pulling for my dogs tomorrow. And we hope the Lord blesses y'all real good. And if he's willing, we'll see y'all next Friday night at 8 o'clock. Say goodnight.